Good morning, everybody. It's 11 minutes past 9 o'clock. Welcome back to Great Day. As you know how important local is to this program, and we are loving local with one of our favorite people in the entire city of Des Moines. It's Frank Markovitz from G&L Clothing. When this program started more than 3 years ago, Jason Parkett, and Frank was one of the first people to step up and say, I'm in. I'm going to be part of this program, and we appreciate that very much.
Thank you for that.
And one of the biggest questions we get is how G&L all came to be. So we thought it'd be a perfect time to bring you in and talk about the history of G&L Clothing, and then we'll talk about like who your customers are and things like that. But
sure.
How long has G&L Clothing been around?
Well, almost 100 years. 1917, G&L. Lou Garsh.
That was to say G&L stands for?
Garsh.
Lou Garsh and Meyer Levine.
Okay.
Although Meyer Levine ended up owning the store after a few years, and he kept the name. He didn't change it.
And where were you guys located when you first started?
Down basically where the Employers Mutual building is, about 7th and Mulberry.
Okay.
And close to the railroad tracks, because that's who their customer was, railroad workers initially.
And what type of things would you supply the railroad workers with?
Bib overalls. I don't know if they had Carhartt from the beginning, but Carhartt was one of those. Oshkosh was a great brand back then. Levi's, of course. And Mr. Levine owned the store till about the 50s, and then hired a guy by the name of Harry Winter. And the Winter family was pretty well known in Des Moines. His brother worked for another clothing store called Frankel's for a long time, selling suits. And Harry is the one who my parents then bought the store from.
And when did your parents get the store?
We bought the store in 1981. My dad, my brother, and my brother-in-law kind of got together. We'd been in the clothing business for a long time. My grandfather had a big and tall store. And then if you've been in Des Moines as long as I have, at least, back in the 60s and 70s, we had a jeans store when jeans first became fashionable called The Loft. Okay. And we had about 4 locations at one time.
Oh, really? So I didn't hear this story before. This is interesting.
Yeah, jeans, you know, Levi's and baggy jeans and things like that became fashionable, you know, back in the late 60s. And the department stores didn't grab onto it right away, so it was independent stores like The Loft and a few others here in town that really were selling jeans.
Okay, and so it progresses now to what we have now, because for a while you guys were located about a block away from where 801 Grand is that right?
Right, we were at 9th and Locust, and unfortunately in the mid-90s we had, in one year, we had 2 separate fires in that building. Wow. Not in our store, but upstairs there was some abandoned apartments, and the second fire then destroyed the building, basically, destroyed all the merchandise, and with the help of our vendors and our employees, we were open again in 3 weeks in a temporary location, and you know, it was important for us to stay open for our customers' sake. To
service the customers.
You bet.
Because that is the primary goal, I think, of your company. Just over the years that we've dealt with G&L Clothing, you go above and beyond when it comes to service.
Well, we have to be a little different. We you know, I'm not saying we do everything perfectly or anything like that, but we hopefully greet you when you walk in the door. We'll help you find what you need. If you don't want to be bothered, we'll let you wander the store and help yourself. And then, you know, we're a working man's store. We're there for the guy that needs jeans and sweatshirts and t-shirts to work every day.
Well, Frank, we saw you in the wintertime helping us out to stay warm, and products for everybody. I bought a fleece jacket. That was probably the best purchase I made last year to keep me warm, but I don't need that right now. So what can you guys provide for us now that it's warm outside?
Well, it's summer. And actually, we've got a summer sale that just started. So if you know, shorts and t-shirts and knit shirts and short sleeve shirts, those are all on sale in the store. We also try and bring new products to our customers, and one of the companies that we sell work shoes from is a company called Keen, and they came out with this really cool sandal that is actually made out of paracord.
Literally cool.
Yeah, literally cool. Air flows through it. It just kind of molds to your foot. Very lightweight.
So this stretches when you stick your
put your foot in there. It moves with you, and you can tighten it up if you need to tighten it up. But it's really great. I'm wearing a pair right now, actually.
Put your foot. Let me show your foot. He does have. Look, he does have one on. Can you show that? There you go. Tom's gonna get it over there. You're wearing these. You know, put your toe down. There you go.
That look comfortable.
Seriously.
They're very comfortable.
And you don't need socks.
You don't have to wear socks with
Okay.
them. You know.
Is that considered a sandal then, or not?
Yeah, it's a sandal.
Is it?
It's
Okay.
a sandal. And Keen is known, if you go down to the farmer's market on Saturday, you'll see a lot of Keen sandals that have this big rubber toe on the end, kind of a rubber bumper. That's what they're known for. And their work boots have that big rubber bumper too. So this is something brand new for them. And but very comfortable. I'm not sure if we're the only place in town that has them. They're actually called Uniques.
Unique.
U-N-E-E-K, and they are very unique. And we've had great response from our customers. So we try and bring them some new things from time to time, and stay on top of. We're not really a fashion store, but this is function. This is comfort and function.
Now I'm glad, you know, when I walk in the door over there are so many things and such a huge selection, and I always think to myself, I'm glad I'm not here on inventory day, because it's got to just be a nightmare. There's so much in there, and if you can't find what you're looking for there, I don't know what you're going to do, because you're probably going to help people out with what they need.
Yeah, we're very committed to providing customer service. We have families that have shopped with us for generations, and so we've dealt with Grandpa and Dad, and now the sons and the kids. We added some children's clothing for those the young kids. We added some women's clothing because we have a lot of women that come in and shop for their guys. And we want to provide them something as well.
And you mentioned Carhartt earlier. You guys are one of the biggest stores for the Carhartt brand, aren't you?
As an independent store, yes, we're one of the biggest in the nation, and Carhartt is a vendor that is very good to us as well. They're an independent. They're not a stock exchange type company, and they run their company the way that we like to run our business, which is to provide the right products and the right services to the customer all the time, and they're a great company to work with.
And one thing, too, I want to mention for folks, if you've never been to G&L Clothing, if you've lived in Des Moines for any length of time, chances are you know about G&L Clothing and the reputation. There's where it's located, 1801 Ingersoll, GandLClothing.com on the internet. You can check out everything on the internet, but it is not just for big and tall people. It's because even though you do, I saw a guy, I was there just last week, this is no lie, I was there last week, and the guy had a belt would have stretched from where I'm sitting to the end of the desk, and he was checking it. He goes, "It's the only place I can find this." But you have belts that are this big, and then you also have belts that for 32-inch waist or 30-inch waist. You have all that.
We can fit everybody. That's and especially because we deal with companies for their uniforms and things like that, and companies have employees in all sizes. So we try and have something for everybody, regular, big, and tall.
And you don't need to be part of a company to go shop at G&L Clothing either, do you?
Nope. We still are primarily a retail, walk in the door, bricks and mortar store. We have an online presence, and it enhances what we do. We have a shoe truck, a mobile shoe truck that we drive out to locations and sell safety shoes. We do a lot of different things, and that's actually what keeps the business interesting.
That fun. It's a great place.
It is
And like you said, summer sale going on right now, so perfect time to go
Summer
check
sale
out.
going on now. Stop in.
Yeah, stop on in.
Selection's good.
Now,
So
when's the tent? Is the tent up or not?
the tent won't be up till later in July.
Later in July, so we'll talk about that when it gets
And we'll
closer
have some
then,
really
too.
special stuff for
Okay,
that.
that's a really cool thing. You need to pay attention to that. When you start seeing the commercials here on Great Day for the tent sale, make sure you take advantage of that too. Just stock up. Frank, it's been a pleasure, man. Thank you so much.
thank you,
Thanks for
Frank.
being here. Appreciate it. And again, what are these called again?
Uniques.
Uniques. Check out the unique shoes at a unique place here in town that we're proud to call our own, G&L Clothing on Ingersoll. We'll be right back.